Hi, everybody. Welcome to the story of the husbandman, Chango, Ogun, and Babauye. There is in the description box information that is compelling to you according to your liking and more insight. There is a live that I did. What up, Puerto Rico? Ay! So I did a live. Yes, I'm Afro Latina. And basically, the information of the reading for Puerto Rico, we had 927 views, 6 likes. Them views be up. Like y'all be over here worrying about the likes. They watching though. Hey. So the video is in the description box if you would like to go to it. I talked about this in there. That's where the creativity sparked. And we are about to get into the presentation. So I want y'all to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show and the graphics. So let's get to it. Let's see, we're going to upload the file. And make sure I got the name right. Okay. Had to make sure. I really clicked the wrong one. My apologies, everyone. Here it is. About to get to it. It's loading. Okay. Boom. All right. So you see the title. I do not give legal advice as it is in the description box. There is a survey for the tarot readings and feedback for tarot. So there's a difference. Feedback for tarot is if there is a presentation or either anything about tarot that's in it. This is not dealing with it. So if you would like to do the survey for how you feel about tarot, that is just a regular survey. It does not have the word feedback next to the link. Thank you very much. And I don't care if it's you hate it, you want to cuss people out. Hey, we still want to hear from you. So appreciate. Here we go. So secret listening, Article 30A. Chango, Ogun, and Babauye. By me, Tamara T. Frederick. You can call me TT. You can call me Mrs. Frederick. Well, Miss Frederick, not a Mrs. Nope, never been married. So, not that I wouldn't want to be, but right now I'm focused on my career status and all. Yeah. So, let's go. So here is a disclaimer and disclosure as a divine conflict resolution strategist, because that is in the suit of attire that I am acting and persuading in at this time. I am the creator of Divine Conflict Resolution Strategist course creation on Udemy. Look, you will find more as we move forward. So, as a Divine Conflict Resolution Strategist with course content on udemy.com, I do not give anyone permission to use this under the rights and privilege that I obtain through my own creativity. You see that? I meant to say use. So I'm speaking. You heard it. I know what you're saying. Forgive my mistake there. By watching, you accept this fact and are accepting it. I have my own practices and attributes of essence that can never be duplicated because energy does not lie. I rebuke any copycats and fake marks of trade that are in fact here to slow my progress and or cease it. I give no one permission to use this at any time, regardless of contracts and other agreements, due to spying spirits and secret listening under Article 38, Title 14, U.S. Code 227, subsections 1, 2, and 3. As you are here, you agree to the terms, no exceptions. As you see, is as you agree. Ashe, amen, amen, ashe. I do not own the rights to the pictures as they are used for visual learning. Okie dokie. So, reflections on the three main women, wives, or girlfriends. Or for the men, if you feel compelled, go ahead. But excuse me, sir, or ma'am, however you like to be addressed. I'm a woman first, naturally. So, you just gonna have to get over that. Apples are apples, oranges are oranges over here. So, if you don't like it, you can leave. So if you need to, you can flip that over there where you at. But when it come to me, it's a no. I respect how you live your life, how you think, and whatever. Respect mine. Gratitude, no attitude. So reflections of the three main women, wives, and girlfriends. The three wives in the story of the Caribbean essence speaks of Obanani, something about Nanny McPhee, was trying to get closer to her husband and took Oshun's trainee, the Indian that could cocoa, coconut advice on food poisoning, manipulator, manipulation, some would say. Now, just because that's what it seems does not mean that is what it is. You know, sometimes it could have been anything like an allergic reaction. Someone taught somebody how to make something. Perhaps that's their favorite dish. Maybe Oshun being, cooking and they, Chongo might have liked it. Obanani probably want to learn. And then, put some stuff in there um, that she or Chun told her, and maybe that doesn't sit with Ogun's, not Ogun, but Chongo's taste buds. I mean, anything. So let's try to think differently as we move forward in any kinds of things that we feel, according to the stories, just because that's what we heard, that's what we seen, and that's what we was taught. Because some things are misunderstandings and manipulation of those misunderstandings of miscommunication. So in this attribute, she told Obanani, a chun, to put her ear in his food. Oya insists that she get more active and find herself again. Instead, she takes Ochun's advice. So Ochun was not, that's different. That's of a different area, attribute of a story, according to miscommunication, because a lot of you get that confused. Ochun is the one, according to the African, they would call it Kemetic. Most would be more feasible to that. African spirituality is more what is heard of according to the Africanism of it. Shun, um, she was the one that tried to go after Oba, because Oya is the one who told her to do it. something in comparison to this story. It's just the roles switch. So at times, according to what we feel and how we know and what needs to be updated, the I would say basically sometimes people partner with different individuals and energies and like-minded individuals who don't understand the other individuals who are updating information according to misinformation or miscommunication or a little bit of both, according to their journey and what they chose to accept. Okay, there has to be someone to move forward in different kinds of nodes and update things. Everything is subjected to change. Continuing the potential hidden details. Chango gets served food from her works of craft and was immediately absurd of her actions. This could be conversations in which was heard, hearsay exceptions, availability declaring immaterial, Rule 803. And that basically, everybody, is about ancient documents, um, statements in ancient documents, statement in a document in existence 20 years or more, the authenticity of which is established. We have reputation concerning personal or family history by blood, adoption, marriage, among associates, communities, concerning a person's birth, whether they was not born at a hospital, born at a hospital, midwife, stuff like that, adoption, marriage, divorce, death, legitimacy. So making sure things are accurate. Some things could be lies. Relationship by blood, adoption or marriage, ancestor, or other similar fact of his personal or her or their personal or family history. This is the hearsay exceptions availability of declaring immaterial, Rule 803, according to North Carolina's general statutes and codes of law. I do not give legal advice, and I really advise for people to get in tune with individuals who are professionals of the law. I have my degree in criminal justice of science. I'm sworn in mediator with the rights and privilege, mediator with the rights and privilege. I have my real estate law certification. I have my victim advocacy rights completion from an accredited law firm and herbal health certified. So as we continue, this potentially caused a radical rebirth according to women who assist men according to their karma. Everyone has karmic debt. How you pay is up to you, and what you do is up to you as well. No one should tell you how to do it, but be careful doing that to them because this is yourself you feel at the end of the day. Like the person that you are, the energy and all this, you're going to your higher self, but you have to do with your lower vibrational feelings, emotions, thoughts, potential things that people tapping into people's dreams, taking their dreams, and then you have to go and deal with it in the world, that, people are being caught up with jumping into people's actual realms of dreams, invading their privacy in many ways than none, taking ideas and all this. They've been doing this for a very long time. It's just now gaining on the forces of knowing as we know it. So whether you agree and believe it or not, it doesn't really matter to me and people that know for a fact this is a fact, until otherwise. So with this acceptance of food is also a replica to Esau in the word of God in the stew that was given to him by Jacob. Birthright, because we have radical rebirth over here on the side. This card comes from Abiola Abrams deck, the African Goddess Rising deck, with Oshun as the um, cover photo, cover of the card deck. So shout out to Miss Abiola Abrams. So this is Umbaya Nahanda. Now, something about, now you see it has number 5. So Chongo in the Caribbean attributes is like Leo energy. Shango in the African attributes is Aquarius. So the energy is different. It's very important to know the energy and also the potentials of each of these figures according to people. Whether you like Orishas or not, you still should know, so you know how to navigate and move and to be able to discern and identify. It has nothing to do with what you like and all that. You need to know. So with Maya, well, excuse me, Mbaya Nahanda in the Word of God is attributed to Dina. See, Dina and Samson. So this story of Chongo and the ear and the food and all that stuff with Oba Nani listening to Ochun, basically it created an opening door to other stories. It's just, this is other people's, individuals, cultures, ways of explaining it. They have their own way. They feel like, certain things are, it judgmentalness, potential issues of not accepting a certain way. Maybe, excuse me, maybe someone basically knew for a fact someone was right, but then they wanted to argue and be combative, so they go and they do their own thing, and this is just the outcome. It happens all the time, according to Cush, the grandson of Noah. If you know, you know. You should. So anyway, with Mbaya Nahanda, she is the attribute of Dina. Dina in etymology attributes of Samson and Delia, Dina, Delia, Dina. Um, that is hindrance, Hindu. This is where a lot of people feel like Islam is the attributes to the real faith of how things are supposed to be. So that is just me breaking down that ideology. And then, especially if we call ourselves quote unquote American Indians in the United States, they would call it. So you see how likely this is. He has an axe in his hand. So something about an X, using somebody as a weapon to fight. So using the first wife to fight, but at the same time, it's more of a confusing energy because someone could be crowned Oba through a shun, they would call it. So a lot of things transforms and transmutes. You have the right to transform and transmute and, you know, move on, move forward. With Oba, it was more of a, being married is I don't like that. I don't want to, I don't think it's a good idea because I had gotten to, it's those energies with her and, Shun, that's more of the loving, I want to feel love, I want to know love. And also what comes with it is the other side of things, being used according to being useful. So if you can tell the comparisons, this is basically what happened with Chongo in the notion of Great Mother Mbaya Nahanda and being awakened once realization has hit, according to hearsay. Maybe because it's a replica, the ear and the food could be anything, and attributes of hearing about what kinds of things the partner, the lover has done, being upset about it, finding out about it in their own way, then none, according to what is needed to be said. But then realizing where that strength comes from is a mother. the femininity of someone being just as courageous once upon a time. So this is where a lot of men feel like, I can be the empress, you can be the emperor. Um, it's just energy at the end of the day. I don't think it's meant to be argued about. Whatever situation is best for the party to handle at the time, according to how we live now in the United States, is usually how it goes. So I hope that makes sense. So 30A, secret listening, Title 14, U.S. Code 227, subsections 1, 2, and 3 will be discussed. Don't give legal advice, but it's imperative to know how to work your rights according to your best interests. Please seek legal assistance if you are inquiring that, for I do not and cannot do that unless upon consent according to my state and credentials. More of advocating, for me on my end. So, Title 14 U.S. Code 227, subsection 1, secret listening to conference between prisoner and his or her or their attorney. Because in this situation, it's not just about that party or whatever. It can be a multitude of people. Sometimes it is just one person and is speaking on the behalf of others. This law of code, according to North Carolina's law and code, this is where it goes to. Title 14 is the temperance in tarot, which is balance, Sagittarius energy as well. So, and also, being calm, not losing your cool about things. You can be, it looks very beautiful, your energy, but you can be very beast like, according to what you would find out, according to the Title 14 laws of codes. Like there is one that attributes to Trayvon Martin with wearing a hoodie in public ways and private ways and or areas that, deemed private. So when I saw that, I was like, wow. Title 14 U.S. Code 227, subsection 2. Secret listening to deliberations of grand or petty jury. Yeah, that's how you say it, petty jury. Some say petite. It's petty jury. Title 14 U.S. Code 227, subsection 3. Violation made misdemeanor, class 2 misdemeanor. So Chongo is subsection 1. Because he's obviously the one who had the situation with the ears in the food. Somebody want to know how he eat, how he move, how you do this, how you do that. Like some would say, spirits that hover and want to be nosy. And then we have subsection 2 for Ogun. The path maker, pathway could be significant. The path you should go, the path that you choose, being the creator or the one that makes the way, going through the creator to deem the way, because a lot of you think differently. So yeah, Ogun, the secret listening to deliberations of grand and petite jury. This is the one who had the like power of something about like because Chongo had power, obviously, but what I'm saying is this is this other side of the story where obviously Chongo had to get some kind of counseling. I'm pretty sure he didn't just make a decision off impulsiveness. I don't think any man, regardless of their impulsiveness and what actions they do take, would just make a decision without other replicas. Even when you make a decision and it's not what you think you should have done, what usually happens is you'll go talk to somebody else about it. How many times have we all been in a situation where we do something and then we're like, dang, or we justify however the feeling is, and then we may go talk to someone else about it. So that is Ogun's position. Chongo went to him, or because of what was said, heard, and whatever. So this could have been um, like that, is what I'm getting at. So let's just move forward. It'll make sense, more sense as we move forward. And Babalue is subsection 3, violation made misdemeanor, class 2 misdemeanor. So this is more like the person, like, okay, 342 on the phone, where he's like, okay, well, like Oya was like, okay, go back out there, get back into yourself, find something to do, blah blah blah. So somebody, basically, what I'm getting at is, it sounds like Baba Lue is advocating for a particular person, or well, pretty much fairly everybody. So it's just getting to the notion that this is the energy Baba Lue was acting in, especially Capricorn energy, Saturn. Something about the Sapona tribe could be significant. Um, so Chongo, it could be a little different, you know. It just goes back to, this is the energy that Baba Lou was acting in. Basically, is all I'm saying. The one who was giving out, okay, well, this is the potentials that could happen. This is the outcome. Be sure that's what you want to do, because this is what could be, and blah blah blah. Because if men were priests or men had power and da 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 da, and this is what it seems to me, especially if you obviously know the story of Obanani and the whole ear in the food situation, regardless of, now we're talking about the Caribbean attribute, the Cuban attributes of things. So I will do the African one. Another note. So recall the ear is to Oba and the connection to Achun due to Chongo's issue or claim, being a claimant. Ogun would be the deliberative one due to hearing the issue and being a so-called quote unquote pathfinder and or way maker, especially ruling technology and technical skills and strategies. Baba Ue is the one who suggests the potential risk and issues that could align if things would go wrong. Basically, the ear could be situations of spirits hovering to gain information from others they are in conflict with, or and issues never was resolved, such as reparations for Aboriginal people, but others have gotten reparations. The reoccurring issues is that someone keeps sweeping dirt under a rug and calling it clean somewhere, and using other people's energies and their issues to justify why someone should not get what they basically should have gotten a long time ago, or these issues are still issues. What's the issue for real? For real? Something about Eshu Isa Ilegua. I've said about Eshu, excuse me, 345 on the phone. A lot of algorithm. So Esau trading his birthright for a bowl of, like, it sounds like somebody conned somebody out of their position at that. So this is a replica of, it seems we would say, Achun conned Oba out of a situation to trick her out of her position. That's what they would say. That's what they would say. Updated information is required. Everyone's story is not the same. Things will and shall be updated. So moving on, same code, same thing. Don't give legal advice, all that good stuff. So Achun insisted the ear and stew treat Esau, Eshu, Esu, and something about Sue. And this this is her child, according to the story facts. They would say she probably was has resentment due to being betrayed of being the third party. Because recall that there was other two there, and obviously, Chun came last in the situation. So manipulation could have been at play, especially if Chongo got it like that financially and work wise. That doesn't make it right, even if that is his birthright. The other party should have a choice in the matter without manipulation of their funds, family, and potential fortune, all because obviously from other wives' partners, he must have known or knew this about her prior. Some people are like praying mantises. They would, it's like the big bad wolf in the Little Red Riding Hood is basically attributed to the Saturn winning award movie Secrets of the Nim. Nim is National Institution for Mental Health. So a lot of people are deemed, oh, there's something wrong with you. You're crazy. Da 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 da. When someone literally does know how to harvest and hover over someone's energy, it just takes study, it takes time, and it also, you have to be mindful, watchful. This is a stalking energy. Someone could be stalking in many ways than none. And people who have abilities according to who they are through the Most High God, any kind of faith like that, whatever you may call it or deem whatever you got going on, doesn't matter. The point is, everyone has powers. I remember my father sat me down and said the devil has powers. He was reading to me about Jesus being tempted, but Jesus never actually given into the temptation. So, yep. So, Achun knew Ogun prior, obviously, in some sort. I mean, according to what we know about Achun or Ashun, whichever, but they're two different storylines. They're two different entities, okay? You cannot treat one like this and it's like that. They are not the same. This is why a lot of people have issues with the Orishas. A lot of you confuse the energy. It takes study, it takes time. It's just like any other thing. You can't just go in and think this and that and the third. A lot of times when people just think they can do this and that and the third without, first of all, asking your ancestors, giving offerings to them, learning about them first before doing all certain things. This is 9 times out of 10 why certain things happen. You must get the masculine energies and the feminine energies of your families involved before dillying and dallying in with the Orishas, especially if you are of Christianity. That is a very touchy thing for a lot of Christians. And a lot of Christians are open minded, even though they are of Christian faith or religion. So Ogun and Oshun priorly obviously knew each other, or perhaps he did not know of a secret attraction towards Oshun that has occurred between her and Ogun. And when I say he, I mean Chango probably did not know about some kind of situation that obviously had happened prior with Achun and Ogun, because it's funny how Chongo went to Ogun about potentially the situation. I mean, if we think about the three main women who are their connectable, attributable partners in comparison to their energy. I mean, respectfully, not what we feel and how we think. You know, it would be Oya and Babalue. Ogun would be Achun, but then Oba will obviously be Chongo. But Chongo, he had all of them. So some men can handle all that, you know. polygamy's a thing that, from what a lot of people have discovered, something that's always been. Obviously, it's very obvious, but monogamy is something that's fairly new, actually, to a lot of people. I feel like it's new to a lot of people because they are choosing to forget about, like, I've had, I mean, you have people who cheat in relationships. Ugh, I'm stretching. You have people who cheat in relationships, but that doesn't mean they're not trying to be totally faithful to their partner. They just make mistakes. There's a difference between making mistakes, um, you know, versus actual, no, this is a polygamy thing, or there's an open relationship. There's a huge difference. And there's a lot of people taking things out of context and just running with it. You want to go back to the Bible days, and you basically want control and to manipulate, and somebody to, you want to look like this. You want to be flashy, Mesa Musa. Nobody wants to be the noble Abubakar the third. No wonder y'all remember how that went. He just went on a trip and then come back. How we know his brother didn't set him up? I'm just saying. Anyway, um, no shade, because if you want to do polygamy, that's cool. With you, cool. A lot of people, you can have what you want if you be real. Because a lot of you be lying. You could literally have this other person and this person. You just be lying and hiding, and that's weird. It really is. This is a time a lot of people are open to things. I think it's just somebody probably feels like, if I tell you this and then a third or whatever, you probably wouldn't. Maybe it's the way they want to be, how they want to do, or maybe they know it's not the fact of the situation, it's the person. Somebody probably won't be able to get down with that because of the person. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep moving forward. So yeah, we're gonna read that line again. So Achun knew potentially Ogun prior as well, and or perhaps he did not. When I say he, Chongo did not know of a secret attraction towards Achun that occurred between Achun and Ogun. So something about slept with a friend of Chongo's, whether past or future or during the situation. Ogun, with his way making ability, can use this for good and or evil because of the secrets involving Achun and Ogun. Something about Cho Gun, Last Dragon, 1985. Obviously, because of stories of her being so-called promiscuous. I mean, it's not The Last Dragon, the 1985 movie, Shogun, Oshun, some of y'all, Ochun, Ogun, etymology too, like Ogun of the, we would say, I would preferably the African attributes, because Oshun, this is more like Ogun probably knew the entity that harvests the energy of Shun at a time, because this is a man who would go off and, discover. I mean, if y'all know the stories, so he knew of the Oshun energy entity and ended up meeting the Achun energy entity. A lot of people, you need to know the difference. These entities aren't the same as the other, even though they are similar. So Achun Ogun obviously with the relation, because of her stories of so-called promiscuousness, potentially could have been used as a way to say that there was a attraction between the two because of a prior situation, or might have been prior, but then it became open again. You never know. um that both could have happened. Something about it was old until it got opened up again. Perhaps Chongo uses the women as concubines, like it does say a lot of concubinism in the Word of God, using women, selling them, sex trafficking, human trafficking. Not everyone's situation is the same. A lot of people use people to divide and conquer. Like Chongo and Agun could have had a little plan to try to get the last girl a tune, and maybe she felt betrayed. You never know. She didn't know that it was going to be this, and I didn't sign up for that. And she felt betrayed because he accepted this one as a wife instead of her. So, something about a train, a tune, choo choo, chugga chugga, choo choo, train, like threesomes, trainee, train. So this is also the energy of they would say, how can I put it, where people believe in lesbianism, being homosexual, LGBTQ plus communities with a tune, choo choo, train, trainee, and threesomes. So it can be that. This is basically in my ideology where a lot of that comes from. Betrayal of the worst, something about a trail. So it definitely could be that. I'm not trying to throw shade, but we all need some kind of overview, maybe some more resolutionable, like minded conversations about these kinds of things so that we could find a way to move forward in what we need instead of, what we think and how we feel. So moving on with secret listening, same thing, same thing. Obanani, this time, Nanny McPhee, she may have bitterness due to being with someone who was cheating, who was cheated. Someone who was cheated, being the first wife, girlfriend, baby mother, or all three. Obviously, she heard, seen, and knows things, even if her mind went infinity according to the offendancies that she may feel from the information being true or false. Thus, of her wants and desires to engage in her union for change. Still, willing to do anything can cause issues without talking to her mate to ensure of her reasons of why she's doing it in the first place. Perhaps this could have been avoided, but in all actuality, perhaps not. If he is perhaps nonchalant and obviously has other women and would look at her as just another woman, obviously that would 9 times out of 10. I can't, if this is something that it could be potentially true, obviously, I could we blame her for not telling him? I mean, at times we be knowing what certain things is, obviously. So whomever resonates with that in many ways and none, that's just for them to deal with. Um, your intentions never lie, your purity of your heart never lies, and anything like that. So with Obanani, Chango is the subsection one, recall, because of the secret listening, the ear and the food to this is like a form of conferencing between prisoner, his, her, or their attorney. So the prisoner could have been, Oba could have felt like a prisoner, but in many ways and none, Chongo could have felt like one. Um, People have theirs, whatever. This is why some people do amicable divorces. They don't go take it all the way, divorce in court, having other means to synchronize, neutralize the situation according to professionals. So, Ogun, subsection 2, deliberations of grand or petite jury. This usually petite jury or petty jury is usually 12 people. So with the 12 disciples, the energy follows with the ordinance of Jesus Christ and the 12 disciples. So it just goes back to, some people, angels, the 12 tribes of Judah, um, all of that, the 12 tribes, it got broken down to five after a while. The point is, the energy is always there. It's just you can't really fathom it unless you actually seek it. So the secret listening and the ear and all of these attributes correlate back to, maybe she heard about him possibly having issues or potentially could have issues. Maybe her concerns kicked in, but it kicked in to the point of, am I losing him? Am I losing somebody? So this is definitely someone crowned Obatu Ashun. They would call it Obatu Achun in this attribute. Um, it's just another their other side of themselves, like someone who has this name and that name. Like my name is Tamara, nickname is Fuji, another nickname Debo Tiny. Well, not Debo Tiny, excuse me. I don't own. I'm not subscribing to that. Somebody else, you can. It is the Boo Tiny, the Boo. So, um, yeah, something about that. Something about that. People have their alter ego. You set an altar, even the Lord Jesus Christ with an altar. Christianity, there's an altar. Well, a lot of people feel like, no, you do this, so that's not right. Well, good thing it's not your life. Some people have a right to the life that they're living. I think other people need to focus on themselves. This is why certain things like this is good to have, because trying to control people, go back to the old days and all this stuff is a problem. Some people just want control. Excuse me. And lastly, but not least, Oya. Oya was trying to be an advocate of the situation, but it depends on the advice she gave and intentions. For example, girl, get dressed up and go out, and maybe he will pay attention then. Those kinds of things we might hear. Or, girl, come with me and let's cleanse our energy and find you a hobby to get your mind off the issues. Maybe things can smooth out to assist the tension. You know, maybe he would even join you after a while. Like sometimes the intentions matter. The advice, it do. Sometimes we distill seeds in people not knowing they probably would actually do it, or somebody's trying to subjugate somebody with seeds that you plant and blame it on you. And this is the problem with secret listening. Thus, of going back to Chongo of subsection 1 of secret listening and the stories of the Orishas, Chongo and Oba, Oya, and Chun, and the whole ear and the food. Somebody 9 times out of 10 was trying to use this as an energy vampiring substance where it puts someone in a bind because of something you said to somebody and then being able to use it against you. See what I'm saying? So 30A, secret listening of Title 14 U.S. Codes 227, subsections 1, 2, and 3, habits, synchronicities in all things. Because where'd you get that from? Like, obviously, you got that from somewhere. How are you being able to be so? How did you get so sharp? How did you just come up with this reasoning? I know we just ain't coming up with stuff out the blue. It had to be some kind of ding spark of a seed. Something got planted, but then the way it grows, we don't know how it's going to grow. Just because all things can grow doesn't mean it's a good substance, aka strange fruit. Well, Billie Holiday, Love you. Rest in power. Peace. So yeah, Eight of Pentacles. If you ever get that in tarot, that's the fruits of your labor. And in Egyptian tarot, the Eight of Pentacles has like a split in the middle. So something about the great split, the separation. So anywho, we can never assume the energy, but obviously open minds according to what may occur. Usually getting the main one out the way, excuse me, can benefit the others because perhaps they get along better and they do work together while Obanani was trapped in a obvious tower. This could be, that attribute. Overall, her points of assisting them was solely about the children, upkeep of the relationship. So we're talking about Oya. So overall, her Oya points of assisting them was solely about the children, upkeeping the relationship, and the financial perspective of the obligations needing to be kept. Now, just because she gives advice doesn't mean it should be taken. It's just suggestion, just like Baba Lue. It could be, okay, we're going to do this and that so we can sustain, or, be careful because this could happen because, Baba Lue of subsection 3 of this title, violation made misdemeanor. Let's see. Let me go to use my phone right fast. I thought it was already up here. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read that to y'all. Yeah, so violation made misdemeanor. All persons violating the provisions, General Statute 14, Title 14, U.S. Code 227, 1 or 2, shall be guilty of Class 2 misdemeanor. So this sounds like Baba Ue being like, hey, well, these things could happen and this could happen. So this is Capricorn energy for him. Oya, wind, change, transformation, um, black candles, obsidian or feathers. Something about Wednesday, transformational power. This is attributed to just conducting that change, the conduction. So if they already had counsel, and this is just a breakdown of the feminine attributes of this same code of law, no legal advice, but I just find it compelling of the whole ear situation of the Cuban Caribbean story of Chongo or Chun, Oba, and Oya, Baba Uye no Gun involved. I decided because obviously, pairs and putting the pieces together, and obviously, I'm pretty sure Chongo had some kind of relationships to be the man that he is. And obviously, these Orishas know each other of some sort, according to the energy, even the people's energy, who they act in, what they decide to take on, what they do, and being in confliction of that. So, long story short, the overall point is basically Oya being the one in the energy of, okay, this, so what you gonna do? Like, it's like the clerk of court being beside the judge, or at the time it was more like mediation, but she, the clerk office type thing or whatever, still being neutral about certain things, but whatever you do is up to you. They don't give advice, but 9 times out of 10, if you're looking for this, you can find it there, or go to this person right here, or you can go to blase blah to talk to da da da. Everybody has their energy according to the situation. So overall, her points of assistance, it was solely about the children, upkeep of the relationship, and the financial perspective of the obligations needing to be kept, especially transmuting energy, where you actually have your experience in the Oba of things, the Ochun of things, and the Oya of things, or the Chango of things, the Ogun of things, and the Babawe of things. A lot of us just move. Um, our energies can transmute at any time. Being very like-minded in that classical attribute to know how to transmute your energy for the best of your interests according to the situation. You know, not too many people know how to transmute energy for the positivity of things. All they know is destruction. So that could be significant. It does not mean just because they give an ultimatum, though, that it was meant for your best good. Like somebody trying to threaten you, intimidate you, you gonna do this or shut up. Like, a lot of times it happens, but it shouldn't be happening in certain times, in certain situations, right? So depends. Some people just be capping for real. So Ochun connections of Egyptian and Hebrew ethics. And I guess there's references at the end of this video. Ochun's choo choo train, trainee, the engine, the Indian that could, cuckoo, cocoa, coconut, advice, Ochun's advice on food poisoning, manipulating. So, how because of this, obviously, we have things in play of serve safe food certifications when we are in restaurants. Like Tiana, with having her restaurant and being very productive and working, a lot of this we wouldn't know how. Maybe, for example, if you're cooking and then you might cross contaminate on accident or something of the natures. This is why trial and error is important, so that we can have ideologies of things and how we manifest into what it is today. So something about ear and food. Somebody has a ear for food, like maybe some people, like mushrooms, they actually can sing, according to a lot of videos with people putting sonographic wave frequency listening devices on mushrooms, and you can literally hear them sing. So a lot of times it is about the frequencies in which you put inside yourself. It is about how you treat yourself, treats, food, candy, sweets. So Goddess Isis, mentioned in the New Testament by St. Paul. Something about Paul versus Saul is nothing more than the reincarnated attribute through Cain and Abel, actually. So it just keeps going. It never actually stopped. They just give it a new name. So, twin flames, and that ain't the same. So, or it's just meant to be known in a different way. Everybody's story is not the same. Earth god Geb, father of Isis, and the sky goddess Nut, or Nut, coconut, cocoa, Wakokakan, is actually where that all came from, according to this map that you see right here on the side. Wokok, something about Wokoko, morning dew, Wokokan, something about being woke, those things. This was a drawn map by Theodore Debray. So something about Alvin Simon Theodore. Alvin is the attribute of essence of Sequoia, the alphabet, Sequoia, Cherokee. All right. Simon is Sekhmet. This is where Right at the top here, the bird is kind of blocking it. My fault, y'all. Something about pyrite, pakwak could be significant. Mata muskeet is right here. This is literally where that comes from. Akuna matata, um, matter, Adam and Eve, um, Amaterasu as well with the Japanese culture. We have Sekhmet. You get Sekhmet out of that, and this is the attributes of retrograded through Hebrew ethics of things, Simon, science. So that's that. And Theodore, you know, he is the soft-spoken one. Something about Theodore the Bry. This is he drew this. And let's think about Theodore for a second for those we all should remember Alvin and the Chipmunks. And they even had lovely uh chipmunk women or little ladies that they had a liking to. So everybody has a partner, regardless of like whatever. How many of us, it's like going to a dance and not having a partner. It's like Rush Hour when Carter, or they would say, Chris Tucker, Money Talk, something like that, finally gets a partner. And he was like, I'm gonna solve it myself, but then ends up liking the fact of having a partner. And sometimes we have to note that our partner isn't going to come in the form we think, but we are going to have some satisfaction, good times, and stuff happens. So yeah, there it is. Raleigh's Virginia, by the way. So Virginia, it was actually a part of Raleigh. Raleigh's Virginia. Virginia was actually a part of Raleigh. And at one point, really, Raleigh was a part of Virginia. Virgin Mary. Rest in peace, Grandma Mary, my mommy's mommy. She was born Christmas Eve. Call her Mary L. Her middle name is Eliza. Her mother's name is Eliza. So you see where it says Middletown, I think it's Amity Church. There's always a middle party. So third parties. We have Croatoan Town, basically, which was that's just the name of the town, not particularly the name of the individuals that harvest there according to their culture and who they truly are. That's just the name of the town. Croatoan is different. Something about the crows. Jim Crow law. Walter Plecker, because of the incidents that he had going on that made Washington press about basically allowing a separation to come in division of status when it comes to particular individuals in Virginia. So this was drawn by John White. Remember John Wolfe for a lot of you? That's why I brought up the big bad wolf. And then we have John Smith, John White, John Wolfe, John Smith. 3 stories, huh? I'll let you think about that. So then we have Hatarask right here and Hataraski. Etymology for have to ask, and then Hataraski, have to ask me. Sounds very Arabic, does it not? The Arabian slave trade was the first slave trade. It was basically, it happened. There was many slave trades. Don't get it twisted. But the transatlantic did not persist first. The Arabian slave trade happened first. So because of arbitration and jurisdiction, according to learning about arbitration, took a class and a course and whatnot, and jurisdiction came into play. The transatlantic attributes of, they would say, Africa the African diaspora of things. Then came that. But through the trend, you see how a tune is more of the Caribbean, that is more of the Spaniard, Olmecs, Mayans, Aztecs, areas of things. So with the transatlantic slave trade in Africa, with the trans word, um, it's kind of like taking on the ideology of one to the other, and then changes permitted um, on from that same attribute. So, something about a squirrel and a nut. So, Sky Goddess is the mother of Goddess Isis, and the coconut, cord cutting, cocoa, wakoko, morning dew, wokakan. This is wokakan is right here, and this is where you get Olarun or Lakun from. And this is all right down here in North Carolina. What are the odds? Something about NC. Know why? Because we next. So cocoa nut, morning dew, wokoko is actually wokakan. This is where Olarun Olakun came from, according to the Hatteras River of North Carolina. So I can see why they a little mad at me. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be professional, but it came out. They already mad because how I look and who they wanted to have looks with. Like, what's with the politics? If y'all don't like us because how we look and what it is, just say that shit because we kind of know. You just be lying. So Wokakan is the river stream name in regards to Olarun Olakun, ironically redrawn in 2012. That's the year I graduated. Croatoan is from high school. Croatoan town is in North Carolina and consists of the following counties: Sampson County, Duplin County, Cumberland County, Harnett County, Onslow County, Robeson County, um, and Hoke County. I did not put that, but I didn't really catch that information. I just, according to the Lumbee Indians, and the information I do know, it was more of this area though: Robeson, Harnett, Onslow, Cumberland, Duplin, Sampson. Something about Samson's revenge. That's definitely where it all persisted. Learning the master gardening. Let me see. Let me check my. Hold on, everybody. I gotta get my laptop charger. I don't want my stuff to go dead while I'm talking to y'all. Okay. My apologies. So yeah, this is basically the map again, but this is something that came from my copyrighted content that's in the Library of Congress. That has a very much comparison to this. So Yamaya, the Mayans, is her Orisha wife. That the basically Wokakan, Yamaya, something about the Mayans, um, Wokoko, Wokakan, the Mayanians, pretty much Malaysians. That is the unity, the marriage, the council, biblioteca for a lot of people, ways of things. Thus, of Maya and the three. I know a girl named Maya. What up, Maya? So, Mexica turned to Mexico after masculine energy took over. A is feminine, O is masculine. A blood, O blood. A lot of people would say, when they're trying to get their stuff done, if you don't have O blood, you gotta leave and whatever out the room. Only O blood. But if it wasn't for this person and that person, that person's blood is still in that person's blood, as well as the other individual, regardless of their blood type. Because 426 on the phone, it took two. Something about a hunt. I sound 426 hunt lane growing up. Something about the Artemis program. Something about Halo. So a lot of times, that's why people be saying it's not about. What was that woman? She's going around. It's viral on TikTok. She was like, sometimes it ain't about black and white. It's about them blood types. So if A is feminine, according to Spanish linguistics, and an O at the end is masculine, I think it's about energy instead. O can be looked at as a number 0. A can be looked at as a number 1. O is the 15th letter in the alphabet, I believe. I don't know. Y'all heard that. Yeah, O is the 15th letter in the alphabet. The 15th arcana card is the devil. And something about Baba Uye Oya energies. So a lot of times, if we were to decipher data analytically, the blood type of O, that would be more of Capricorn energy, opposite Cancer energy, thus of Yamaja, of the Cancer energy that they persist that she has according to the moon, the basically the astrology information. And that is also the moon card. And in Egyptian tarot, there's 3 entities that are in it: the black one, the white one, and then the little scorpion in between for the Egyptian tarot deck. For other tarot decks, it looks like somebody, a figure of a dog of some sort with the moon in the sky walking a yellow brick road. Something about follow the yellow brick road to success. I went to Butler Avenue School. Something about the Butler. Something about the number 22 as well. Butler Avenue School, it was follow the yellow brick road to success. I was like, oh my God. So differences in stories of the Oris. As you can see, the 7 main Orishas are over there. 7 African powers, some say. Oshun with the SH is African, or the Africa, diasporas of things and stories. Ochun is the Cuban. Oya, Africa, Oya. Gotta do the different pronunciation. Oya, Oya, Oya. Cuba, you just gotta drag the A little different. And Oba, regardless of pronunciation, you would just have to note and quote the area. And this story that I was basing off of was of the Cuban attributes, just to make it very clear. So please learn and know the differences between using the Orishas without acknowledgement of the location. Without acknowledgement of the location of without acknowledgement of the location and story, it can alter your manifestations. So, for example, doing Orisha work without asking your ancestors of this can alter your Ashe and other destiny makings and other destinies, making it more difficult than what it has to be, especially not cleansing a home prior to moving in, or not cleansing a home prior to according to who lived there last, and not learning about the holy grounds prior to the works in which you choose to follow according to the tradition of the decision you make or made. This is so important. This is why a lot of people find it, oh, don't do that. They might have tried it or got into it and they're like, oh, that's blasphemy. Or they're so into what they're into, they're not open-minded. This is why a lot of problems are in the world, but they want peace and whatnot. So it doesn't make sense, you know. it's time for us to make sense of things. A lot of people are just in trouble because as you learn and dilly and other dallies and, you know, mark your tallies, keep score, you are finding out that a lot of things was set up upon others, upon someone else that has something to do with you or someone you love or something like that. And moving accordingly, according to that, is the best interest of the situation, because what tends to happen is you find out so much that you don't trust anyone, and making it hard to trust anyone. I mean, you want to, but some things, it's just like, I don't know, you know? So, doing this kind of work prior to working with them is very important for those who've already taken on a covenant or whatever. Because a lot of people, you might have got baptized or something like that, and you was trying to live your best, and you finding out somebody took you through a whole mess, but it's according to what they 432 on the phone, according to what they have accepted, something about the heart chakra, um and love. So you can't help that that's what they accepted. It's just coming out where you're gonna know who they are truly. They don't want you to look at them as this. I'm not this person, and then they try to clean it up. But in due process of it, you find it like it hurting someone else. But a lot of you, someone loved you so much that they, sometimes you gotta protect in ways that um it may not align with someone else's purpose of why you did what you did, how you did what you did, da 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 da. But you know how we have children, people we love, moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, whatever. We tend to take certain measures. They would say unfortunate for someone else, according to whatever it is. A lot of times you're just doing the right thing and somebody just don't like you or whatever. And at times you gotta do what you gotta do. Like you mind your business walking. You can't help somebody came and tried to harass you or something. So you probably did them dirty. I mean, it was either them or you. You know, a lot of times people be minding their business. They just don't like your energy. They don't like what you stand for. They think it's weird. They think there's something wrong with you, and they need to go on somewhere. That's just like a hate crime, uh, because someone wants to date the same sex. Like if it's not really bothering you. Now my whole thing is when if that ever happened to anybody and you find that out and you move and you try to move on, but the person is still in your energy, you got to understand, overstand, and understand on an outer standing perspective that something has to be done about that, because someone is still trying to be funny and all this stuff. Like, don't nobody care. Like, if you want to be with them, be with them. Like, so I've seen that so many times on my spiritual journey where that has happened or whatever. And if that's the case, no biggie. I mean, be together. Like somebody is so mature, they don't care. Trust me. It's really somebody accepted something, trying to be greedy and want what you got, not realizing what they asked for is exactly what they're gonna get. But it's something, it's you. When you touch it and it manifests, it's great for you. When they do it, it's fucked up. So a lot of you with this attuned thing, as we begin to close out, a lot of you, they try to get you along this ride where it turns you deceitful. So be great, stay prayed up, some would say, cleanse your energy and make sure you are aware that some people just want you because they know what it means for you and they want to enjoy your ashe, your amen, your blessings. And a lot of you cray in the back because somebody wasn't really focused on you, they was focused on themselves. And you can't really come up with any argument. So now you want to try to dig around what they did and stuff, but you are going to face a fault because you can't. A lot of you, this is why you find out things about other people. They try to dig dirt on you, and then the Most High, according to you being in connection, respectfully, positively, for your protection, you end up finding things out about them an hour and 20 minutes in on the timer. And this is what they feel like, yo, you do witchcraft or something. Like, no. So it's important to know facts of information. Somebody you just trying to low blow, I mean, that would mean you have to judge everybody else who do the same. You know how many people that is? First of all, a lot of y'all have covenants and occults and shit. You're not so if they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it or something. So y'all be careful and stay prayed up. People are weird, man. And here's the references. Okay. And I thank y'all for coming. Let me know what you think in the comments and check the description box. There is a reading for Puerto Rico that I did of why it was so important for me to do this. It's Leo was in the reading. Leo energies. What up, Leos? I'm a Leo Venus. Libra house got Leo in it. And so basically that's it, everybody. And if you need me, let me know. There will be a grant video later on for my subscribers. Only for the subscribers. You must be a subscriber to get that kind of love from your girl, Fuji. You can call me Tamara, aka Fuji, aka the Boo Tiny. So y'all have a good day. Love you very, very much. And I will see you next time. The link is open. The description box is open. And donations are accepted. You can donate at any time. This is my Cash App. I do a lot of work. I do a lot of work. I appreciate love and support in many ways than none. Hardworking mother, advocating for other mothers and men who have great mothers, and you learn from her, and you are great men. So shout out to us all as we critique ourselves and love each other and move forward in love and peace and harmony. And the Puerto Rico, what up, Puerto Rico? And the description box has the reading in there. If you want to go to the reading, like it was a nice live chat. We got 927 views on it, 6 likes. I don't care. Them views though. I know you see it. I know you see it. 1, 2, 3. There's a minute, an hour, excuse me, and 23 seconds, 23 minutes. See, look at me discombobulated. An hour and 23 minutes into this live. And I thank y'all so much. I really, really appreciate you. And y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Ashe. Amen. Amen. Ashe. Peace.